My name is John Van Wagner. I hired in probably around March of 2016 for Monty. I'm a retired U.S. Steel worker. I worked 40 years at U.S. Steel in Gary, Indiana. And I moved down here in a retirement home in Brown County. We built a cabin on a lake in 2008. And my wife came first. I didn't come till like 11 or 12 when I was fully retired. And then we started going to, I worked for my brother-in-law who was up the hill 300 feet, who was friends with Monty. And we started going to breakfast every Friday in Monty retired in 2015, late 2015, I think. And 2016, we were riding back from having breakfast with the guys that all had company businesses, except me. I was just the only retiree. And I had been doing a little bit of work for my brother-in-law. He has a heating and air conditioning, Larry Wide. And when I was riding back with Monty, we went in his shop that day, and Corey and Anna, who were his employees at the time, his wife and his daughter, had let the machines turn red flashing, which means they're not running or they're not making anything. And so he was kind of upset that they weren't running. And next thing I know, I said to him, if you want, I'll help you run your machines and do some work for you. And I said I'd do the first 120 hours if he built me an AR. So I wasn't into guns at the time, but I enjoyed, he made me a 300 blackout for hunting. And so I worked 120 hours for the gun and then started working for him after that. And so far I've enjoyed the 10 years that I've been around. So it's 10 years starting here in 2016 or 2026. So I've enjoyed the time working for him. He's a great guy, and he's been a great boss. Him and Corey been very good to me. I work basically when I can or when I want to, and I drive the truck for him, taking parts back and forth between Cincinnati, usually every couple of weeks. He'll have a batch of stuff that has to go over to anodize in Cincinnati, and I'll drive that over and drive it back. So now all I do is I cut the material for rails on the saw, and then I drive the truck. And basically I'm a part-time employee doing that. When I first hired in, I was working a lot more hours. I was running the machines, and I was probably working 6 to 8 hours a day, 4 days a week as a retiree. And I'm glad he hired enough people that I don't have to do that any longer. All I had to do was insert the rails into the machine, and the machines do the rest. I don't really have to do anything. Monty had it all set up. Monty did all the programming at the time. All these guys you have out here that does all the other stuff now that Monty doesn't do, Monty did everything when I started. When I started, it was just Monty and I, and there was no one else in the shop. Corey once in a while, Anna once in a while, and even Brody, their son, seldomly, you know what I mean? They all worked a little bit at the time, his family, but it was mostly Monty and I. Monty built the guns, he programmed the machines, I cut the material and put it in the machine, and we ran the rails. At that time, he didn't build very many guns compared to what he does now. He was making more rails. If you were there at the start in the little shop in Brown County, Indiana, which is right by his home and on the 85 acres that he purchased at the time with his home, small home at the time, it was a pretty neat thing. Something I'm glad to be a part of, the start of the company really booming. So, a lot of fun.